Hey everyone, it's me Bailey and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my fall TBR. So this year has absolutely flown by. I cannot believe that we are already in fall, but here we are, and I'm going to be going over some books that I'm hoping to get to during the fall season. So most of these books I don't know a whole lot about. They have just been on my radar, and I have a majority of fantasy books, but I do have a mystery thriller thrown in there. I do have a collection of short stories thrown in there, as well as some fall type romance books as well. So I'm super excited to hopefully read a majority of these during the fall time, but I know that if I don't, that is completely and totally okay. There are currently 13 books on the TBR that I'm going to be sharing with you today, but I feel like there is room for this to grow. So these are just the 13 that I'm going to be talking about in this video, and the 13 that I think that I'm going to try and prioritize this fall season. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop on into the video. So the first book on my fall TBR is The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole, and this is a fantasy book. I honestly have no idea what this is about, but I have been seeing this coming up lately, and I've been seeing people absolutely loving this book. I did actually read the first chapter not too long ago, but I just didn't think I was in the right mood to start it yet. So I am hopefully going to be getting to this series soon. I think the third book in the series just came out not too long ago. So yeah, super excited to hopefully get to this fall. Next we have House Gone Quiet by Kelsey Norris, and this is a collection of short stories. I don't exactly know what this is about. I think this is about like women and like violence. Women contemplate violence after they're sent into foreign territory to make husbands of the enemy. So I guess this is kind of like a women's revenge story, maybe. I don't know. I haven't really heard anything about this book, but I'm hoping to enjoy it. It just is a bunch of short stories, I'm assuming, told from the different women that are sent into this enemy territory. So I'm super excited to get to this. Plus it's pretty short, so I don't see it taking me super long to read. Next we have Legendary by Stephanie Garber. This is the second book in the Carval series, and I read Carval not too long ago and really loved it. Really had a good time reading it, really enjoyed my time. So I've been wanting to pick up the second book in the series, so hopefully I can get to it this fall. Next we have A Dawn of Onyx by Kate Golden, and if you've been around the channel for a while, you have known that I have had my eye on this book for a very long time. I would always go into a store looking for this book to see if they had it, and if they had it I would buy it, and if they didn't I would just be like, oh well. But finally for my birthday I bit the bullet and decided to order it from Amazon, and I finally got it. So I think the second book came out not too long ago, so I hopefully can get to this one during the fall. I'm not sure what this is about, but I've heard really amazing things about this book. Plus the cover is so pretty, and it's giving fall vibes, which we love. So fingers crossed that I can get to this one during this fall season. Next we have The Veiled Kingdom by Holly Renee, and I know this cover is bright pink and black. It's not really giving fall vibes, but it is a fantasy romance, and I feel like fantasy romance screams fall to me. Like I feel like in the fall is just the coziest time to pick up some fantasy romance, and that is why this book is on this list. I've heard kind of mixed things about this book. I've heard that you either really love it or you don't really like it, and so I'm hoping that I'm really going to love it. All of the fantasy girlies that I trust have loved this book, so I'm super excited to read this hopefully this fall. Next we have Trial of the Sun Queen by Nisha J. Tooley, and this book has been getting a little bit more buzz lately. I originally hadn't heard much about this series, but I knew that it had recently been picked up by a traditional publisher, as well as I heard that it was on Kindle Unlimited as well. But I really like this cover, and it is giving me fall vibes, so I figured this would be perfect to hopefully read during this fall season as well. Next we have Such Sharp Teeth by Rachel Harrison, and this is a werewolf book, which yeah, werewolves and the fall time I feel like are just perfect. Like I feel like that just sets the atmosphere, and so I'm really excited to hopefully read this book this fall too. It's still pretty short, and I've never actually read anything by Rachel Harrison, but I've heard that she is like a horror style author, so I'm definitely interested to see if I'm going to like this book. Next on the list we have Blood and Steel by Helen Scher. This is the first book in the Legends of Thesmar series, and I've been hearing absolutely fantastic things about the series. I also know that the final book in the series did just come out a couple of months ago, so this is a completed fantasy romance series, which we love to hear. So I figured now that the series is complete, might as well dive into this series. I'm super excited. I've heard amazing things about this book in this series, so I cannot wait to read it, and hopefully I can get to it this fall. Next we have Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole, and this again is another fantasy romance that I've been hearing absolutely amazing things about. I do know that this recently just got picked up by a traditional publisher, so I was not able to order the rest of the books online before they took them down, but hopefully when the rest of the books come out in this series I will have read this first one, so that way I can go pick them up. But I do believe that this is still on Kindle Unlimited, so if you were looking to start the series it should be there for you to start it there. But I heard that this is a slow burn fantasy romance, and I'm here for it. I love this cover. I think it's absolutely stunning and beautiful, and I hopefully cannot wait to get to this book this fall. Next we have a book that I'm pretty sure has been on my fall TBR for the past like 3 years at this point, but that is Darling Girl by Liz Machowski, and this is a Peter Pan retelling. Now earlier this year I tried my hand at reading a Peter Pan retelling and DNF'd it less than 50 pages in because I literally just did not like it at all. I could not stand the main character. I found her to be super insufferable, so I'm definitely interested to see what I'm going to think about this one. I haven't really heard much about this book. I haven't really been seeing anyone read it, but it gives fall vibes to me, so I'm hoping that I can hopefully, fingers crossed, get to this one this fall season. The next book on this list is The Wishing Game by Meg Schaefer, and this book just gives me fall. Like the cover I feel like is giving fall, plus it's set in a library I believe, or a bookstore. Yeah, I believe that this is set at a library, but it's essentially just giving very like cozy vibes. It's giving like game type competing vibes, which I feel like are very fun, so I'm definitely interested to read this one, and hopefully I'm going to love it. It's also not too long as well, so I feel like this will be perfect for the fall time. The next book on this list is Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera, and this is a mystery thriller book that involves people thinking that this girl has murdered her best friend. I haven't heard a whole lot about this, but what I have heard has been pretty good for the most part. I am super interested in this book, and I feel like mystery thrillers go so good in the fall, so I'm definitely interested to see if I'm going to like this book, and fingers crossed that I can get to this fall as well. The final book on this list is This Spells Love by Kate Robb, and I believe that this is like a witchy kind of romance, and I feel like witchy books are so perfect for the fall, and you know me, I'm a big romance girl, so I'm hoping that when I'm in the mood for a romance during this fall season, this is the one that I gravitate toward, because I just feel like this book screams fall. So I'm super excited to hopefully get to this book this fall. So those are all of the books on my fall TBR for the time being. There is always room for this TBR to grow, but these are the ones that I'm hoping to make a priority this fall season. Let me know down below in the comments if you have read any of these books, or if you're planning on adding any of these books to your fall TBR. But that is going to be all for today's video. If you made it this far in the video, leave the fall colored leaves emoji in the comments to let me know that you made it this far. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content from me. I will have all of my social media linked in the description, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!